Hello, watch enthusiasts, lovers, and nerds! TikTok Tyler's back!
With Analog Armand.
And thanks for tuning in to Govberg Watches. Today we're looking at the 42mm stainless steel Bell & Ross BR03-93 GMT. This piece was just introduced at Baselworld 2016. You can see this watch at our Ardmore location and find out more at govbergwatches.com. Also, be sure to download our mobile app, Govberg on Time, for the latest news and horology reviews. On Armand's wrist, 17 centimeters, 6.7 inches, the GMT wears large, give it its modest size designation provided by Bell & Ross. We see a very solid case, one that is quite utilitarian. This design is one that has become iconic, especially to Bell & Ross lovers. Since its inception in 1992, Bell & Ross has made a name for itself in the industry, and their case constructions and shapes help with that fame. The Bell & Ross designation of this timepiece is 42mm with a thickness of 10.7mm. Lug-to-lug extremity is 51.5mm. This watch is hip to be square, but is anything but square. Throughout the watch industry, most watches we see are rectangular, tonneau, or cushion-shaped, but this is nothing like that. Here we see rigid edges with curved corners and a 24-hour bezel that highlights the dial. The GMT numbers are untraditionally small, which works as an antithesis of the large classic numbers on the dial. We have brushed and polished finishing on the case, with the polished screw heads making the biggest impact. The robustness of the case continues to the back, where we see a solid case back. Most of the BR01 and BR03 models have this solid case back construction. Looking at the dial, we see a fairly simplistic matte black dial. The large numerals and indexes are applied, which gives the dial a three-dimensional aesthetic. The large RM GMT hand is akin to the Explorer 2 in its looks, and makes the GMT time zone easy to read. We can also see the date aperture at 4:30. Moving to the strap, we see one that's heavily bolstered and wide to match the girth of the case. At the 12 o'clock side, we see the iconic Bell & Ross ampersand is visible and lightly embossed, while the 6 o'clock side is clean. The strap attachment to the case is also unique. There is an evident taper that hugs the lugs, and the strap swiftly moves to match the case. I believe this taper adds to the robustness of the case, and actually makes the watch larger than its designation. The strap attaches with a large stainless steel tang buckle, and sports a large BR engraving, and features the brushed and polished faceting that is found on the case. Inside, the Bell & Ross caliber BR caliber 303 makes this watch tick. This caliber is a modified ETA 2893 with an added GMT function. Like most standard ETA movements, we have a heartbeat of 4 Hz and a 38 to 42 hour power reserve. Bell & Ross claims they will never become a manufacturer that will produce in-house made movements. So all movements found in Bell & Ross timepieces are ETA or Sellita based, with the exception of the BRX1, which is manufactured by Du Bois de Praz. So Analog Armand, what do you think of this Bell & Ross?
I think it's really cool. I think the addition of the orange GMT hand, the large one that you mentioned, is kind of akin to the Explorer 2, is a nice touch. I think it balances out the dial with a little hint of the orange GMT and the orange at 12 o'clock here. You're right, it really makes it easy to read. I love the classic Pilot's design of the dial. Definitely very legible. And I'm noticing now how the polished screws actually all point to the center, drawing your attention to the dial. I think that's a great detail.
This has been TikTok Tyler
and Analog Armand,
showing you the 42mm stainless steel Bell & Ross BR03-93 GMT. See it live at our Suburban Square location in Ardmore, or give us a ring at 610-664-1715 to chat watches with us.